It's the final four of the European Championship. We are on to the semi-finals. When you look at this matchups, you see Spain versus France. You think, oh my god, we're going to get a great matchup. Then we have Netherlands versus England, another great matchup. But when you watch the football by two of these teams, that's why I got the Raptors shirt on. It's dinosaur football. It's Barney-esque. So let's hope and pray that England and France can play some football and we get some good matchups. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What is the final you want? And what's the final you think will happen? First game we got is Spain against France. A game where the best attack against the best defense. And Spain's attack has been ruthless, lethal, exciting, youthful, pretty on the eye. That's what it's been. Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal have been exhilarating to watch. They are footballers that you watch and say, I would pay a ticket to watch them every single weekend play. And Morata just doing the link-up play and hold-up play. Yeah, he's not going to be the most clinical of finishers, but he's valuable to this team. Then you got the midfield. You got Dani Olmo, who's been amazing. Obviously, he's going to take the spot of Pedri, Fabian Ruiz to Rodri. The three midfielders got to play great football. They got to move the ball quickly against this French team that are going to be defensive. As we know with Didier Deschamps, the midfield, as we have seen throughout this European Championship, has been cooking. Now, the issue is the suspensions for them. No Carvajal and no Lenormand. So who the heck is going to play a right back? Is it going to be Navas? Navas? Oh boy. Against Mbappe, even though Mbappe hasn't been the greatest, I would be very fearful for Spain if they're playing Navas. Now, Vivian from Athletic Bilbao, that could be an option. Then you have Nacho at center back. That could do well for Spain. I wonder how Luis de la Fuente is going to approach that. If Spain can play their game, and they haven't conceded a lot of goals at this Euros. They've only conceded, what, 2 goals? Both in the knockout stage? Pretty good in 5 games, only 2 goals conceded. They have to play amazing. Because against this French team, they have the best defense. So how do you get Nico Williams into one-on-one situations against Koundé? And Koundé has been great. How do you get Lamine Yamal in one-on-one situations against Hernandez? And Carvajal, I think, has been amazing throughout this Euros. He got the stupid red card, even though he knew he was already suspended. So can Navas be defensively solid? And Rodri going up against, Kante and Griezmann, and whether it's Camavinga or Rabiot against Tchouaméni. Rodri, we know he's got a clutch goal in him. Can he get a clutch goal against the French? And what about for Didier Deschamps in France, right? They have played horrible football. They played horrible football. It's great defensively and they are solid. And somebody who just enjoys the game, France are not that. France are taking it back to the 90s. And late 80s, Italian style. That's Didier Deschamps. He's from that DNA. He understands, okay, you can play the great attack in football. That won't win you anything. What is it about? Defense, defense, defense. Defense wins you titles. Attack wins you fans. And I think France are doing that perfectly. I mean, Koundé to Upamecano to Saliba, Hernandez, Mike Maignan. I think those 5 players have been amazing for France throughout this Euros. Koundé especially. Koundé's rise as a right back, not really offensively, because yeah, he puts in a couple decent crosses. He put a decent cross to, I think it was at Colomoni the last game, but defensively he's been solid. Hernandez solid. Saliba, the guy, is just going to be an amazing center back for the future. The issue is, what the heck do you do with the attack? Still 0 open play goals, and I think they've had an XG of 8.8 and they have 0 goals to show for it. What? I mean, France's attack is basically a fire festival right now. All promise and nothing to show for it. Mbappe, this is the game now. If you're going to go up against Navas, Navas, you have to cook. You have to take the game by the scruff of your neck and say, we are going to win this because of me. He hasn't been good. Now, can he blame the injury? Of course. We just see a different Mbappe at the World Cup. The guy's just mindset is just a killer mindset. At the Euros, it's more like, I don't know. It's a bit soft. He's not really involved in the game. We want to see the Mbappe that we see at World Cups. Because that Mbappe at World Cups, the guy shows up. Deschamps looked at the performance in Dembele and thought to himself, maybe this guy could work. Maybe he can get us the ball. He can help us progress with the ball. Because we know France are going to be defensive. I can imagine this game is going to be like Spain, 60% ball possession. France, 40% ball possession. Griezmann hasn't been the greatest at this Euros. He's going to have to step up. For me, this game is just about attack versus defense. Rodri and Spain have been the best team so far at this Euros. But we've seen this time and time again. The best team doesn't always win the title. Argentina 2006, I thought Netherlands and Germany played really good football in 2010. They didn't win. 2014, Brazil were really good until they met the semifinals. Same thing for the Dutch in 2014. 2018, I thought Belgium were going to win it. They were playing really good football. They didn't win it. So the best team doesn't always win, people. And I think that's the scary thought here for Spain. They can play amazing football, but when they get to that semifinal, it could all be the end of them. And for France, they've experienced this before. Some of these Spanish players have never been in a semifinal of a major competition. Some of them at least. France, these guys have been there before. They have been to a World Cup final. They have been to another World Cup final and won it. This team is just riddled with all of the experience in these major pressure moments. And I think that is valuable heading into this game. And for me, I think France is going to do it. They're just going to get a 1-0 win. They'll get a goal in the second half, and they'll just be defensively solid. They might have 2-3 shots on goal, but they'll just get that one goal that is enough for them. France, I think they're just going to lock it down like they did in 2018, but they were so good on the counterattack against Belgium in 2018. Hopefully we can see a similar thing in this matchup. I think they have the experience. They have the manager who's better in these moments. You saw with Luis de la Fuente. When they went 1-0 up in the Germany game, he sort of panicked and said, we got to keep the lead. We got to keep the lead. They got the goal because of Merino. But Luis de la Fuente hasn't been a lot in these pressure moments. And how do you react in a game? Didier Deschamps has. He knows, okay, we got to make this sub, change the game in this aspect. And I think France are going to do a 1-0. It ain't going to be pretty. People are going to complain about it. But heck, do you think the French care? Do you think Deschamps cares? No, they don't. They win 1-0 and advance to the final. Well, this one should be a bit more interesting in my opinion. We got the Dutch against England. The first time they have met at a major competition since 1996. And the last time they met at a major competition, England won 4-1. 2 goals from Teddy Sheringham and 2 goals from Alan Shearer. First off with England, another team that's just been horrible to watch. Again, that's why I'm wearing the Barney shirt. That's why I'm wearing the Raptors. England have played uninspiring, horrific football. You don't want to watch it, but they just have that individual talent that drags them out of the game. Slovakia, Bellingham steps up, Kane steps up. Switzerland, Saka steps up. They did nothing in those games until the individuals stepped up. Yes, it is tactically Southgate. Yes, it's also the players, I think, being frightened of the moment, really not wanting to take any risks throughout the game because they're afraid of like, oh my god, if I make this mistake, the media might crucify me or the fans might crucify me. I think the players are really feeling the pressure right now, but they're getting the job done. They're not going to play the pretty football, but they'll play the effective football, England. And England won on penalties. I mean, all the penalty takers. You just see these guys at least have the confidence. But hopefully they can play with confidence for the first 90 minutes or 120 minutes because they haven't shown that throughout this tournament, in my opinion. But defensively, I thought they played a lot better against Switzerland, even without Guéhi. And now Guéhi is going to come back into the starting 11. Kyle Walker in possession is just a no-show, but he's good defensively. Stones really stepped up, and Pickford, you know, he's been having a very good tournament. So defensively, I don't have a lot of questions. Just for Southgate, what do you do with the starting 11? I mean, Foden hasn't stepped up at all throughout these Euros. And we know the guy is a baller, but Foden hasn't risen to the moment compared to the other players like a Bellingham, to a Saka. Maybe Foden can do that in this game. Maybe each guy is just going to take their moment in stepping up. All right, Bellingham, you do in the round of 16. Saka, you do in the quarterfinal. Maybe Foden does it in the semifinal. And who does it in the final? Well, we'll wait and see. But I'm a little bit worried with Harry Kane. The guy's fitness does not look great. I think he's carrying a knock. He hasn't been effective at all. Bellingham, you know, he didn't have a great game against Switzerland. Hopefully, let's see what he can do in this matchup. Overall, England are not going to change. Playstyle is not going to change. The lineup is not going to change. And the only reason why Southgate wouldn't make any subs throughout this game because he's reacting to what Ronald Koeman is doing on the Dutch side. So let's see. Can England do it one more time? Playing horrible football. Nobody in England will care as long as they win the Euros. If they win the Euros, Southgate, you get a lifetime contract. I've been very excited watching the Dutch play in this knockout stage. 3 goals against Romania, 2 goals against Turkey, but it's also the mindset that this team has had. All right, they're 1-0 down against Turkey. They're really struggling in that first half. What did they do in the second half? Different side. Much more direct. Much better link-up play. Gakpo to Depay moving into the 10 role. Xavi Simons not having the best game, but still trying to be, you know, intricate with his play. I got to give credit to the Dutch and Ronald Koeman. His in-game subs through this knockout stage have worked perfectly. And Dumfries has been defensively solid, good going forward, which I'm surprised about because Dumfries in the past was nothing going forward. How can the Dutch win this game? The Dutch can win this game by being better defensively, because in transition they have been horrifically bad. I mean, the amount of space they gave to Turkey, they cannot give that to England. England have the attacking players that can truly score a goal. Turkey, they didn't have that. They had that one player, which was Arda Güler, and the others, they work hard, but they don't have the quality going forward. I think the Dutch can do well in this game, though. If they can play that same beautiful possession style of football, they will not go away from it. They're not going to be a team only against the French where Ronald Koeman said, we just want to get a point here. We're going to play 40%, 35% ball possession. France, you try and break us down. I think the Dutch will take this game to England. They know that England, yeah, they have been good defensively, but they have been rock solid. England haven't been like France, where France are just a wall. England, you know, they got a couple layers of bricks, but they haven't completed the whole wall just of yet. I like the way the Dutch have played. I think Depay, he's much better in that 10 role compared to striker. Gakpo, very direct. We've highlighted Gakpo a lot during these Euros. He needs to play incredible game. Van Dijk, Ake, De Vrij got to step up defensively. And how does Reinders and Schouten do in the midfield? Especially Reinders. Reinders was struggling big time against Turkey, but Reinders throughout this Euros, the guy is such a good midfielder. Direct, good link-up play, and wants to take on a midfielder. He's not going to be like, all right, let me just switch it left, switch it right, switch it left, switch it right. No, Reinders, when he gets the ball, always forward thinking. And I like that about Reinders. And what about Weghorst? He's not going to start. I don't think Weghorst will start. So how will Weghorst's impact be off the bench? Look, if you're Dutch, you got to feel excited about this game. This is a great opportunity. The last time the Dutch won a major competition, where was it held? In Germany. Can they do it again? Would be some sensational story, because Ronald Koeman has been crucified a lot on this channel and probably out on other channels because tactically he hasn't been the greatest. But if he can get this game spot on, the Dutch can win. And I'm looking at the likes of Depay stepping up, Xavi Simons stepping up, and Gakpo. If those three players are cooking in this game, then the Dutch have a chance. Then they have the options of Donny Malen off the bench who can make runs in behind, where maybe England will be tired at the end of the game and Donny Malen can be a key part. And Verbruggen, the guy is 21 years old, but what a keeper he is. Going to be a sensational keeper for the next decade, 15 years for this Dutch national team. What is the prediction? Well, I think England do it, people. I think this goes 1-1. It goes to penalties. And Pickford is the hero for England once again. But England have that experience in these pressure moments. They have been to a semi-final, a final in Southgate's tenure. They know what to do when they get to this stage of the competition. The Dutch players, none of them have been in here. Okay, yeah, they've been in Nations League. Nations League? Really? That's not a major competition. The Euros, a World Cup, we're talking. And I think England have that experience to withstand the pressure, get that early goal. I think that's what Southgate's going to do. He's going to get that early goal. The Netherlands will be pressuring them a lot in the second half. They'll get an equalizer, goes to extra time, and it goes to penalties. I think England step up in penalties and win 2-1. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope we get a good game. I think it's going to be a boring game where the Dutch are going to be very frustrated throughout and England just withstand it and advance to the final in Berlin. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below, people. Which two teams will be advancing to the final in Berlin? Is it going to be England versus France, England versus Spain, France versus the Netherlands, or Netherlands versus Spain? Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here for more Euro content and Copa America content. And of course, we'll be doing match reactions to both semifinals. So join me for that. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Until next time, adios.